Someone can test your boundaries without ever asking you a question. They make one small request, cross one tiny line, make one disrespectful comment, and then they watch your reaction, because your reaction tells them something very important. Can I do this again? Most people think manipulation starts when someone becomes obviously controlling. It usually doesn't. It starts much smaller. And if you recognize these 7 social tests early, you can stop a lot of unhealthy behavior before it becomes a pattern. Test number 1, the small favor. Someone asks for a tiny favor. You say yes, then another, then another. Each request is small enough that refusing feels unreasonable. But they're not only measuring whether you'll help, they're learning your availability. If you constantly sacrifice your time to avoid disappointing people, you're teaching them that your boundaries are flexible. You don't need to become cold. Just stop automatically saying yes. Sometimes a simple, "I can't do that," is enough. No long explanation, no guilt, just clarity. Test number 2, the small disrespect. This one is easy to miss. Someone makes a joke at your expense, interrupts you, dismisses something you said, or speaks to you in a slightly disrespectful way. Then they watch. If you laugh it off every time, they may learn that the behavior has no consequence. And that's the important part. People often repeat what gets rewarded or what gets tolerated. You don't have to start an argument. Sometimes calmly saying, "Don't speak to me like that," changes the entire interaction. Test number 3, the boundary push. You say no. They ask again. You say no again. They add pressure. Come on, it's not a big deal. Why are you being difficult? This is no longer about the request. It's about whether your no actually means no. A healthy person may be disappointed by your boundary. A controlling person may try to negotiate your boundary away, and that's a major difference. Test number 4, the guilt test. Someone does something that benefits them and inconveniences you. When you object, suddenly you're the problem. You've changed. I thought you cared. After everything I've done for you? Notice what happened. The conversation moved away from their behavior and toward your guilt. That's a powerful manipulation pattern. You don't have to defend your character every time someone dislikes your boundary. You can simply return to the issue. We're talking about what happened, not whether I care about you. That's social intelligence. Test number 5, the silence test. You don't immediately respond to a message. You don't react to their demand. You take some space, and suddenly they become cold, distant, or passive-aggressive. Sometimes silence is simply someone processing their emotions, but sometimes it's being used as punishment. The clue is the pattern. If someone repeatedly withdraws affection whenever you don't give them what they want, they're teaching you, "Obey me, or you lose access to me." That's not healthy communication. That's conditioning. Test number 6, the confidentiality test. Someone tells you something private. Then later, they ask you to reveal something private about yourself. It feels like bonding, but sometimes it's information gathering. The more personal information someone has about you, the more they may understand your insecurities, fears, relationships, and pressure points. Trust should be earned gradually. You don't need to reveal your entire life just because someone revealed something about theirs. Reciprocity is not the same as trust. Test number 7, the reaction test. And this may be the biggest one. Someone deliberately provokes you. They criticize you, challenge you, mock you, or push a sensitive button. Then they watch how quickly you lose control. Why? Because emotional reactions reveal information. They show people what triggers you, what scares you, what makes you desperate for approval, and what they can use against you later. This is why emotional control is such a powerful form of social intelligence. Not because you never get angry, but because you choose what deserves a reaction. And here's the bigger lesson. You don't need to prove you're strong. You need to make your boundaries predictable. When people learn that disrespect gets calmly addressed, pressure doesn't change your answer, and provocation doesn't control your emotions, they learn something very quickly. There is a limit to what they can get from you. And that is where respect begins. Not with intimidation, not with aggression, but with consistency. If this video helped you recognize a behavior you've experienced before, leave a period in the comments. And if you want to understand the hidden psychology behind everyday human behavior, subscribe to Social Synapse. Share this with someone who needs to recognize these patterns sooner. Because sometimes the most important social skill isn't knowing what to say. It's recognizing what someone is trying to teach you about yourself.